AC Cash. This is
Jay the Technician.
and this is
JD. Boom.
and we're coming to you on behalf of PivotPointInvestors, where we help the everyday investor invest in real estate and stock market to achieve financial security.
And we're back. I'm JD. Boom, with PivotPointInvestors, and this is my partner.
Jay the Technician.
Now look, we had to come with an emergency shoot, an emergency video today.
Emergency ain't even the word.
Hey, the house on fire
The
for two
sky
stocks.
is falling right now.
For two stocks, for two companies, man.
Off the-
Gamestop and AMC, man. What in the world's going on, J Tech? What's up, man?
Literally.
What's this Reddit stuff? What's this? Like, what they doing here?
First and foremost,
Yeah.
here at Pivot Point Investors, won't recommend a single stock coming
Absolutely.
from these guys because the major thing that nobody is contemplating is if you really look at the science of this whole thing, there can be a huge potential investigation that leads into this, and a lot of people can be hit with fines, can get permanently banned. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with this.
Go to jail?
I mean, this can really go sideways. So we recommend to everybody, please, this is a great show. It's a great thing to watch. But when we here at Pivot Point Investors tell people about companies, we're telling you about where the company is and where it can be, not just what a bunch of people decide to turn a company into, because that's not trading. That's actually insider betting. That's
Right.
rigging. That's
We're
manipulation.
gonna pick and
We're
make
gonna
a winner.
we're gonna
right?
make a winner
We're gonna
appear
make a
and
winner.
make them disappear. So
Yes.
that's really not a good thing going forward. There can be a lot of ramifications. Major thing that they keep talking about: gamma squeeze, short squeeze. I looked at everybody's definition, and yes, all of it makes sense. But really, if you want to think of it in a most straightforward way, it's a cat and mouse game. One
Okay.
man chasing the other. That's really all that's happening.
Okay.
So you've been betting against it, I'm for it. And every time I'm right and you're wrong, you got to keep buying more stocks to keep up with the fact that your options are bad.
That's right.
So it's a constant cat
To
and mouse
cover
game.
your position,
Right.
right?
But the problem is, it's almost a double negative because while JD's trying to cover his position, he's also a participant in causing the stock to rise. So while he's trying to cover his short by taking more long trades, he's pushing the value higher. And that is also fueling the market as well. So you had a lot of hedge fund companies trying to hedge their money.
That's right.
I mean, it was billions of dollars on the line.
That's right.
And us little people have been successful enough to push them almost to the brink of bankruptcy, to where their options were zero. They were worthless. They literally had to just let it go because there was nothing more it can do. But this definitely makes the trading scene dangerous. It changes everything. It's going to make these brokers look at us differently. There's going to be new restrictions. There's going to be new rules.
Absolutely. It always brings restrictions, man.
They
always bring it.
Literally, as we speak, the White House just made an announcement that they are going to look into this thing. So this could now cause our own president to write executive orders, for all we know, on limiting on how we trade and what we trade. And this could definitely dial back the freedom of individual traders all the way back to the early 2000s when we first was really allowed to enter this market and be thrown back under the bus to where we can't trade. So as much as this does seem like a huge opportunity to become a thousandaire overnight, a millionaire overnight, hell, a billionaire
overnight. You go from 90 million to 4 billion in one day.
A South Korean company called Musk
4
Asset
billion.
Management bought this stock when it was $4.19. And they just closed it this morning.
Now imagine that. They bought it at 4, right? The stock was at 2 the day before, 2 and some change. And they bought it at 4. The stock right now, GameStop, right? We're talking about GameStop. GME, the high was 482.85 this morning. This guy hit me first thing this morning and say, yo! Hey! Woo! That is incredible! But the stock right as of 2:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today was $2.41 a share.
Already half the value gone. Just like that in a flash.
Imagine that. That is incredible. I don't wish that on anyone, right? Like to be a shareholder, right? So imagine you're a shareholder of this stock. You're a company executive. You're an owner. You haven't done anything wrong. You're a board member for this stock, for this company. You haven't done anything wrong.
Nothing.
But they've frozen your stock. You can't even trade it on platforms, right?
Can't touch it.
You can't even touch it on Robinhood and Webull and E-Trade and TD Ameritrade, all the big.
But you know what's so funny? All the most well-known people on the planet, even some that is in that trade right now, nobody's out. Why? After making astronomical numbers, Elon Musk came on and tweeted, Gamestop. He ain't sold his shares either. So why not? And because the premise is, unlike those big people, us little people, which is what we're here at PivotPoint Investors, they don't have multi-million-dollar lawyers saying them, no, don't do this, don't do that, don't touch. You don't have that. You simply think this is an innocent game. And for the most part it is. And in some ways, they may not necessarily go after the smallest of the bunch. But here at Pivot Point, we will tell you why take such unnecessary risks.
It is definitely.
Why do that?
Yes.
Now, the truth of the matter is, the big guys won't do it because their lawyers already told them, don't you dare get out this thing. If you get out of this, you could be indicted under insider trading.
Absolutely. And you don't even want to.
You don't want that.
It's a gray area. It's that ambiguous area. You don't want to get into that minutia and muddy water.
And then imagine though, these big guys, they won't be trusted to touch any other company if they did something like that.
Absolutely.
Because then they're going to say, man, your money is not warranted, because you're going to look like a problem if now you say, hey, I'm investing my money in your company just to catch the rise and I'm going to jump out. I don't care what happens to you.
Absolutely.
Those are not true investors that really bought into the company for the company. They just bought it for a profit.
Speculation, that's it. Now the other big one is AMC Entertainment. Movies. I love movies. Hey, J-Tech, in this pandemic, I hate the fact that I ain't been able to go to the movies, man.
Honestly, I was just talking about them last week by saying, man, somebody in there came up with a very creative idea. They decided to do movie theater rentals where you can actually book the whole movie theater for up to 10 people for $99 or up to 20 people for $199. So you can actually get your family together, your friends, go watch a movie privately and safely within that environment and know that you are all COVID safe. So that's it. It's not a grand scale measure because it'll never amount to what they used to make.
That's right.
But at least somebody was thinking of ways to, man, how can we pay the rent for all these buildings?
Yeah.
We don't want to lose these companies. They were trying to find ways to stem the tide till things got back to normal. And now look at what they're dealing with.
Hey, they secure finance and it's good, so they're gonna be able to make it through COVID. But that's another stock, $2 and some a share. One of my top guys, he bought the stock at $2.40 a share. And so the thing ran. We're on the phone yesterday. It's $16.32 a share. And he had made over 16 grand off this one stock because he had over 1,100 shares, 1,136 shares. I was begging him to sell that stock yesterday. Please sell 500 shares. And he was like, well, I saw some stuff, short position, this. I think it might go 22, 25. I'm just going to hold it. I said, okay. I said, listen, tomorrow morning, I don't care what it is, you need to sell. You need to sell at least 500 shares. Now, he waited until it started dropping. It went up to 19. It went up to 20.36 today. And then when it started coming back down, he sold it right around $16 a share, where I told him to sell it yesterday, right? So, but he just had to know he could try to make and squeeze a little bit more profit. But listen, we know at Pivot Point, hogs get fed, pigs get slaughtered.
A lot of people don't honestly realize they are not in the dynamic to make those kind of moves. Because the truth of the matter was, he was right, but he was right and wrong. The market did make an all-time high for AMC at $25.77. It went that far. But that is known as the short squeeze, the gamma squeeze, where it's moves that are happening so rapidly and it's happening during off-market hours when you as an individual can't trade it anyway.
Right.
So when you watch this thing take off at 6 p.m., that's institutional only. So you're like, it's where I want it. But then by the time you wake up in the morning, this thing could be at $10.
That's right.
You missed the whole rodeo because you didn't take the mindset of the decision to ring the register. And you gotta ring the register.
Hey, it's not a loss or a gain until you sell. And so that's our biggest mantra. That's my biggest mantra. We share that. And you gotta pull the trigger. And sometimes it's bad, but it was a good situation to pull the trigger. I mean, it was payday.
It was.
Like, get your payday.
You wouldn't. But my only thing is, it's even crazy here. We coming at you, PivotPoint Investment, for the week. And this has been the news all week.
It's the news. It's the
Gamestop
Thursday.
AMC has been running all week long. It's literally
It's a national phenomenon.
literally CNBC, Bloomberg, Reuters. They don't even know what to think. All they're saying is, I cannot believe that we're still talking about this, or this is still happening, completely derailing from everything else that we're trying to do.
It's all the good information.
It's all being locked
earnings
in
reported for this week. All the good stuff.
Facebook beat expectations. Apple beat expectations. Microsoft beat expectations. So we got big news, but nobody cares. They're just like, hey, do you see where GameStop's going? So it's just
it's crazy.
It's really become a huge shout out over. But on those great stock picks that JD Boom has been giving you, if you are a premium member, also to our fellow clients, it was a wonderful day to wake up yesterday and see those earning reports come through, and all of them were stellar, and all those stocks just rose, and it was good to sit back and know that the money is making more money and making more money, and you guys too can be a part of that money. You too can join the Pivot crew and get on the bandwagon of true financial prosperity. Not this wham and bam setup where it's almost going to be a Ponzi scheme, but real genuine stocks, that companies that we've done our research on, that we believe in, and it'll go a long way. You can make a lot of money. So that's definitely how I've been feeling, and I've been talking to my clients. You've been talking to your clients, and we've been trying to keep people from jumping off a ledge right now, whether they want to jump in this thing or jump out this thing. And at the end of the day, there's a phrase that one of my greatest teachers told me when I got into the financial markets 20 years ago: every day is an opportunity to make money. Every day. There's no singular moment. So everybody keeps saying, oh, they act like they're going to miss a wave or something. This has actually happened 4 other times in the last 3 years.
Absolutely.
It just becomes blip moments. They come in and they go. Like, as long as we're alive and we're breathing, every day there's another chance to make more money. Every day we look at stocks and seen that year to date, they have jumped 100, 200, 300, 1,000%. This is not the first. This is just the first one that garnered so much attention, because it's being done in a short amount of time and people are watching the manipulation happen. They're looking at these guys congregate and collectively try to scheme this thing together, but that's also a bad thing, because if people are plotting against the American way of society, their governmental system via the stock market, can have some backlash. And some really unforeseen backlash. So definitely, we're not here to tell you guys what to do, but we recommend that just for the most part, just leave this alone. There's going to be so many other opportunities to make money. Don't feel like you missed a boat on anything. It's just one moment. There's going to be so many others, and we here are going to be definitely televising and keeping you up to date on what's going on, as long as you stay tuned to us and keep checking on our regular program.
That's right. So at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, AMC stock was $9.65 a share. So that's down from, it was as high as 25 after hours. It was 20.36 was the high earlier today, normal hours, trading hours. So, I mean, hey, again, that's down more than 50%. It's probably going lower beyond that. My guy did finally sell, right? So at least that's a good thing. So he could have lost his shirt, but for him, it wasn't really losing his shirt, because he had bought it at $2.40 a share.
He was in a green regardless, but he might have missed the opportunity to make what would have been considered the peak money.
Right.
So he could have jumped out now at $10 and still made bank, but then he'd probably be crying the entire week that he could have gotten out of
a higher number. He could have got out at 19 and 20, man.
Right. So all that's a nightmare.
Absolutely. So this is not an exact science. We just wanted to come to you and tell you why having a community with solid thinkers that understand history, that understand human nature, that understand greed and fear. Because we just saw greed and fear all in one time.
Everywhere.
Now, if you took our beginners, intermediate, or advanced course, we spent a lot of time on greed and fear.
Yes.
And so, again, if you haven't joined and you haven't signed up, we're going to have a big blitz coming up next month in February, a huge sign-in party blitz for all of our beginners, intermediate, and advanced. If you want to learn more about stocks and you don't know them, you need to be with us, because we want to be with you. We want to advise you. We want to help you turn your thousands into hundreds of thousands, your hundreds of thousands into millions. And if you got some millions, go for some billions. Let's go do it, man, because that's what we do at Pivot Point Investors. We want to support your dreams, and we want to help you get to where you want to be. So, as always, I'm JD Boom. Pivot Point Investors, and this is my partner.
Jay the Technician.
And we want to thank you for joining us today during this crazy, crazy time, my brother.
GameStop Rush Week. That's what we're going to call it.
Woo! Let's go. Y'all
care.
take care.